do get asked quite a few things about the Windsurfer LT, some of which I hope to cover here, like does it plane? Can you use it in the waves? Do you need foot straps? Can you use different sails on it? All that kind of stuff. Hopefully I'll cover most of that now. Even the wingers were struggling as the wind was anywhere between about 7 or 8 knots and probably 20 knots. This was a day where I went out with the 6.2 wave sail that I use on my free wave board, thinking that I'd probably use the free wave later on. Actually, as it turned out, I stuck to the LT as the wind was very light at times, and the ability to get upwind and go all sorts of different places was really excellent. I do get asked quite a lot how you manage without foot straps, and I must say once you get used to sailing the board, the grip on the board with the sort of ridged deck pad provides no problems at all, and it gives you the ability to really get your weight backwards and forwards in the waves like these. That is so useful to keep the nose from digging in, but also once you get back on the tail a bit you can really carve it round, as I'm doing now a little bit, and the ability to get back upwind is great as well. The crazy thing is that this day at Sandbanks I was the only windsurfer out. Various people had been out, wind had been up and down, and they'd packed up. That isn't really a problem with the LT, you just go faster when the wind's stronger. The only other guys out at Sandbanks this day were wingers and the odd kiter, so it's great to be out, but I just feel it's a real shame that there aren't more people windsurfing in these really good conditions. Anybody want to see what these boards are capable in the waves, just check out the Australian Spotty out in good conditions at Geraldton in Australia. Great to be out blasting around with the wingers. Actually, we're about the same speed, and when I get the dagger board down I seem to be able to go upwind at the same sort of angles they do. It's a strange thing to have the old sport and the new sport side by side, hopefully both enjoying themselves in the same sort of conditions. That's Tim Metcalf on one of the latest duotone wings, duotone board and duotone foil, going really well. This is Hamish, one of our local heroes who's taken to all forms of pretty much water sports so well, applies himself, and is now para-winging and managing to do some epic upwind and downwind trips. The board manages the 2 to 3 foot swell, a bit choppy as well, quite well, no problem. Got to keep your weight back I suppose, stop the nose digging in, but it's still very manoeuvrable in these conditions. So this is my duotone Superstar 6.2, really nice strong sail, good for blasting but also strong enough and powerful enough to use in these sort of conditions to drive a big board like the Windsurfer LT, probably doing about 15 to 18 knots in this sort of smoother water on the way back into the beach. I actually use all sorts of sails on this board, including obviously the standard 5.7 soft sail, which is great for lighter winds and actually surprisingly versatile when it comes to the strong winds, but also wave sails and more racy orientated blasting sails as well. So really choose your weapon depending on the day. And yes, of course it planes. These boards have done over 30 knots, and that's with the standard sail.